their fitness level, their mental state. What were they doing outside? Hiking, fishing, working, skiing? How much experience in the outdoors do they have? After that, what's the area like that you're searching in? The topography, weather, and visibility. What trails are available? How well are they marked? And what turns might be missed? How about animal tracks, deer tracks that a person might try to follow? Or features like streams, drainages, power lines, or fences? In general, when a person gets lost, at first they can't believe it. They're shocked, maybe embarrassed. They know what they're seeing doesn't match with what they should be seeing, but they'll convince themselves they're going the right way and keep moving. Reality has not quite set in. They don't believe they're lost, so they don't believe anyone's looking for them. They may ignore the helicopter circling overhead. Then, when they realize they truly are lost, it's flight, fight, or freeze, Coaster says. Some will move faster to get somewhere. Some will strategize. Some may stay put and wait for help. We talked about dementia patients, a frequent reason for call-outs, and I told them about the elderly man we'd found trapped in the mud in a swampy area near Williamsburg. We discussed other cognitive cases, like people with autism or folks with intellectual disabilities who may not realize you're there to help, or despondent people, like the boy Nate literally talked off a ledge. Then there are those with medical issues, like the diabetic who'd passed out from low blood sugar. We talked about every kind of case I could think of except criminal cases, although Luke and I had stumbled into our fair share of those. Searching for murder victims, or worse, criminals on the run, was a specialized field, one for the professionals. I saved a half hour for questions, fielding them like solid infield hits. The last one came from a dark-haired SAR volunteer I'd not met before. "What about Geraldine Largay?" he asked. "Didn't they use all this stuff and still couldn't find her?" I saw Nate put his empty pipe in his mouth. I took a deep breath. Geraldine Largay, I began, was an Appalachian Trail through hiker in her 60s. She was solo hiking in Maine in July 2013. She left the trail to relieve herself and became disoriented, lost. She couldn't find her way back to the trail through the thick woods. Despite the best efforts of searchers, including the Maine Warden Service, she was not found. 2 years later, surveyors stumbled on the remains of her tent and, sadly, of Ms. Largay. She was about 700 yards off the Appalachian Trail. According to the diary she left, Ms. Largay survived 26 days before dying in her tent. I straightened my back. SAR will never be 100% successful. Proper techniques, including understanding lost person behavior, will increase your chances of a successful search, but I hesitated. But be prepared to give yourself grace. I paused and restated it. Cut yourself some slack when a search ends without finding the person. I glanced at Nate, who stared forward impassively. Afterwards, throwing the ball for Luke outside the high school where my talk had taken place, I said to Nate, "Why is it mentioning Geraldine Largay makes me want to take off and hike the AT? I mean, what is it, 2,200 miles? 5 or 6 months? Scott wouldn't notice, would he?" Nate laughed. "Girl, what are you running from now?" He shook his head, the corners of his eyes crinkling in amusement. "What's your husband doing today?" "Scott and Ethan are re-roofing the barn." "That boy still hanging around?" Ethan was Scott's daughter's ex-boyfriend. He loves working with Scott, and Scott appreciates the help. I picked up the ball and threw it again. He pays him, of course, but I think Ethan would do it for free. Luke galloped after the ball, his black and gold coat glistening in the warm September sun. It makes Amanda mad, but oh well. Scott's daughter wasn't around much anymore now that she was a student of the University of Virginia. "She's enjoying college?" "Too much. She's drinking, partying." I picked up the ball and threw it again. "Dating one guy after another, and none of them the kind Scott would like her to be with." "Lost person behavior," Nate said, grinning. I blinked. Once again, Nate nailed it.